Good day folks, Sean here from Air Photography. So perhaps recently you've just purchased a brand new drone, something like the Mini 4 Pro, the new DJI Flip, the Neo, the Mavic Air series, and you're wondering what to do with the footage after you've been out capturing. If you're brand new to capturing and filming, it can be a little bit overwhelming what to do with the footage, how to edit it, and how to share it with family and friends on social media. There's a lot of different free apps for editing footage that you can download right to your smart devices, such as a tablet or a phone. But in this video, we're going to take a look at the DJI Fly App. All the tools you need to edit and share are built right into the Fly App. Now, to start out, I'm going to assume that all the content has been transferred from the drone over to your device, whether it be a smartphone or a tablet. If you're not quite sure how to do that, a few days ago or about a week ago, I uploaded a video how to transfer all the content from your drone over to your device. I will include a link to that video down in the description of this video. So if we go ahead and launch the DJI Fly App, down here in the bottom left-hand corner, we have an icon called Create. So that's basically our editor. That's where we're going to do all our editing. Now, the important thing to keep in mind, and I'm going by iDevices here, iPads and iPhones. I'm not quite sure about Android as I'm not an Android user, but it can only read files stored within the Photos app. So if you have stuff stored in your Files app, you do have to transfer it over to your Photos app first. And the nice thing about the Fly app is you can actually edit footage other than things that were shot on a DJI product. So you can edit your drone footage, but if you want to mix in footage that you've captured on something like an action camera, or even content that you've captured on your smartphone. So let's go ahead here, and I'm going to launch the editing tool. And you're going to notice right away here that when you do launch it, you do have to edit in a vertical format. If you're on a phone, that's not going to be an issue, but if you are editing on an iPad, you will have to edit it vertically. Now, there's a couple different ways in which we can edit, and I'm actually going to break this into two different parts. We can do auto editing, where basically the software is going to make all the cuts, add transitions and music. And for a lot of people, that might be a great choice, especially if you're not really interested in the editing aspect and you just want a finished product that you can share right away. So I'm going to save auto editing for a separate video, so keep an eye out for that. In this video, we're going to focus on more traditional timeline editing, where you have full control of everything that is done. So you can see when we launch it, this is the main interface. At the top here, we have New Project. We have One Tap Edit. We have an icon here in the top right-hand side called Drafts. And basically that is if you have projects that you've been working on, that's where you will access the saved files. And then we have a bunch of pre-made templates. But again, we're going to focus on more traditional timeline editing in this video. So we're going to tap on New Project. And you can see right off the start, it's listed DJI album. And basically that's content that we've transferred over to the photo app directly from the drone. Right now I only have 3 files in there. And we can preview the files by tapping that little icon in the corner. That's going to bring up the video. We can scrub through it, kind of preview it to see what it is, to see if it's something we want to include. But we can also change the album. Right now you can see it does say DJI album at the top, but we can click on that. Any albums that you have on your device will be listed. So if you have an album that you have photos and videos stored from your smartphone or another device, we can add them here. But it is really important to note that all the content does need to be in an album. For example, if you're taking videos on your smartphone and they're just in the main camera roll, the software won't be able to read that. You actually have to make an album, you can call it whatever you want, and add whatever clips you want included in that folder. Once it's in a folder, then that will appear here as well. So I'm going to select drone footage, and I'm just going to select some files that we want to include in our edit. This video here was actually shot on the Action 5 Pro, but we can add it into our edit as well. Down at the bottom here, you can see all the clips we have selected, and basically they're going to be added in that order onto our timeline. So at this point, if we want to adjust things, we can press and hold, and we can drag it anywhere around. And again, we can do that later on while we're editing. Once we've got the footage we want selected and we're ready to go, at the bottom we have One Tap Edit. Again, that's more to do with auto editing, so we're going to save that for a different video. But what we're going to hit is Next. That's going to create the timeline and add all the footage to it. Now, right now, this video is way too long. You can see it's 27 minutes with all the raw footage added. So we're going to cut that down. You can trim that down to whatever you want. If you're making something like for social media, shorts, or a TikTok, you might only want it 30 seconds or a minute. If you're creating something a little more dramatic, something you might put on Facebook or YouTube, you might want a 2 or 3 minute video. At any time, if you want to get a more visual preview of the content in your timeline, we can use a pinch gesture to shrink it down. Or if you want to be able to get into more fine detail when scrubbing through, we can zoom right in. And that allows us to scrub through a little bit slower. But the important thing to do before you start editing is set your aspect ratio. Up here at the top, we can click on this button, and you can see it allows us to select all the different aspect ratios. If you're uploading to YouTube, you want a more traditional 16:9. If you're going to be uploading to social media, you might want a 9:16. You can see when we selected a 9:16, everything is shrunken down. So we will have to expand the video to fill up that space, and we can do so by clicking that button. But for the sake of this video, we're going to edit in a more traditional aspect. So I'm going to shrink that back down and put the aspect back to 16:9. Now, as mentioned, we can adjust the order of the videos once we're on the timeline as well, just as simply by pressing and holding and dragging around. And at any given time, if we want to add even more footage, we just hit the plus button there. That'll take us back to the gallery, and then we can select whatever videos we want to add. So at this point, we can start using some of the built-in tools to trim things up, add music, add some effects, and do a bit of color grading. So let's start with this first clip. You can see that the drone is flying out over the water. But I do want to keep this video around a minute or a little bit less, so we're going to trim a lot of that out. So I'm going to start right about there, and I'm going to click the cut button. You can see that split that video in two. So I'm going to select the front part of it and then click on delete. So that's where we made the first cut, and I'm going to go to about there, and then I'm going to click cut again. So that's going to be our very first opening clip. So as I move along here, there's another section where the drone rises up and there's a boat that comes out in the harbor there. So we'll do that. We'll start it about there. So again, I'm going to press on the cut button, and then we're going to go ahead and remove that section by pressing the delete. So now, as you can see, we have that opening clip, and then it goes to that shot where the drone rises up. And then we just have to figure out where we want it to end, perhaps there. Again, we'll hit cut. And the rest of that first clip there I don't want, so we can go ahead and delete that. So now we just have two segments from that initial clip. Now, at any given time, if you've made a mistake, perhaps you've added a cut or you've deleted a segment you didn't mean to, we do have an undo and a redo button. So if we hit the undo button, you can see it brought that segment back. Now, a couple other things we can do to these clips before we continue is we can reverse it and we can speed it up or slow it down. So let's click on the speed tool. You can see right now it's at a 1x speed, but we can go all the way up to 8x, or we can slow it down by 1/4. Now just keep in mind, depending on the frame rate, if you slow it down too much, it could start to look a little bit funny. For example, if you filmed at 4K 60, you can slow it down by half and it's still going to look nice and natural. So let's just slow it down a little bit. So we can see as it's previewing, it's a little bit slower than what it was. The other thing we can do is variable speed. This essentially is kind of like a speed ramping. So if we want to slow down or speed up at different increments, we can adjust this graph here. And you can see it'll adjust everything accordingly. We can also reverse the footage. It'll take a little bit of time to reverse it. But sometimes, it can make the drone footage look a little bit more dynamic. So now instead of the drone rising, when we play it, it's going to be lowering down. So at this point, you just have to go through each one of your clips, do your cutting, trim it down. It'll always tell you how long your video is here at the end. So if you're trying to keep it under a minute, you'll be able to adjust things accordingly. So I'm going to go ahead here and trim things up, and then we're going to take a look at some of the other features and things we can do. So there we go there. I've cut everything down, and now you can see the video is at about a minute. So we've cut it down from 27 minutes worth of footage down to a little over a minute. At this point, we can now use some of the other tools to add some effects, some titling, and do a little bit of color grading. If you're brand new, you don't have to worry so much about color grading. DJI does a really good job with their products when it comes to auto mode. So if you capture an auto, it usually for the most part does a really good job. So it's not really something you do have to worry about. So let's go ahead and we're going to start at adding an audio track, because adding music to your videos makes it a little bit more dramatic. The DJI Fly app has an extensive library of music you can add. Now, it's important to note that not everything is going to be royalty free or copyright free. So if you're making edits for monetization, you want to make sure you're using music that you have a license to use and that can be monetized. If you're just uploading to social media, sharing with family and friends, then it's quite acceptable to use the built-in library. So to add some music, what we're going to do is click on the Music tab. And at this point, we can disable or enable the main audio track. Now, if you're importing drone footage, for the most part, there's not going to be any audio. However, on this clip, because it was captured on the DJI Action 5 Pro, there is some audio that will be included. Now, you may want to blend that into your music to add more of a dynamic effect, or you may want to mute it all together. So that's going to be personal preference. So to add an audio track, we're going to click on this tab here, and it's going to bring up the music library, the built-in music library for the Fly app. At the top here, we have different styles of music we can add. Let's go over to cheerful. So we can go through the audio and find a track that helps set the mood for what we're trying to portray. So I kind of like that one there, so I'm going to click on the Use button. So that track has now been added. And another important thing to note is you may want to add your audio track first before you start your cutting, because sometimes you want to make your cuts during different tempo changes. It can make it a little bit more dramatic and a little bit more engaging. Once you've got the audio track added, you can preview it to see if it's something that is suitable. Sometimes you have to add a few different audio tracks just to kind of preview it to see what it's going to look like. Now, if you want to add your own music, say you've purchased some royalty-free music that you want to embed into the video, you can do that as well. But instead of browsing the pre-built library, you would go over to Local, and there it gives you different options for importing music that you've purchased a license to or you have stored on your local device. So now that we've got our audio track, now you maybe perhaps want to do some editing to the footage, some color adjustments, or perhaps adding a filter or an effect. So to do so, we're going to click on Filter. And at the top here, we get some options depending on what we want to do. The first option is Filter. These are pre-made filters that we can add. We can try them out to see what it looks like. We have a slider here to adjust the strength. Once you're happy, you can click on the check mark, or you can click this button here. That's basically going to remove the filter. If you want to adjust the color manually, we're going to click on Adjust, and there it gives us all the tools to adjust the temperature, the highlights, the shadows. So if you want to do some more of your own grading, you are able to do so with that option there. The next option is glamour effects. So if you've captured yourself on your smartphone and you kind of want to smooth your skin out, brighten your face, you would use the glamour effects. These last two are more advanced features. The first here is color recovery. Essentially, you would use that if you have filmed in a flat color profile, something like D-Log-M on the drone. You would just select a specific device from the bottom there, and then you would apply it, and that would bring it back up to full color. And lastly, we have Aqua. Mainly, that is if you've used something like the Action 4 or the Action 5 Pro. That'll help adjust the colors for filming underwater. Now, the next thing we can do is add different effects to our video clips. If we tap on the effects bar now, you can see it gives us all different effects we can add. We have basic, split, light, and retro. So they have all different ones that you can go through. We can add some snowing effects. If you've been filming in the winter and you want to add a little bit of snowfall. They have autumn vibes that'll help enhance the colors. You can even add some falling leaves. And I'll just show you that here. Let's go to a clip where that would make a little more sense. How about this one here? As you can see, we've added some falling leaves. So that might be interesting for some scenarios. So that's all going to boil down to personal preference and taste. So the next thing we can do is add some text. So if you want to add some titling to your video, we just tap on the text button. Here where it says click to add text, we're going to tap on that. At the bottom here, we get a window where we can enter the title. So I am just going to put drone video. From there, we have all the tools to adjust the font, the color, the size. You can set it exactly how you want it. They have some pre-made templates. So you can just go through and add some titling as needed. And the last thing we can do here is add stickers. Again, this is all going to be personal preference. If you want to add something like a logo, like it was filmed on the DJI Flip, we can add it down to the bottom right-hand corner. And they've got different emojis and different things if you want to add a little bit of whimsical character to your video. So once you're done all your editing, you can preview it, make sure everything is the way you want it. You can do some more cutting if need be. And then when you're ready, we can export it, which is going to prepare it to be shared directly to social media. Now at the top here, you can see we can set the resolution at what we want it exported at. So if we tap on that, we have a slider here. We can export it at 1080, 2.7K, 4K. We can even set our frame rate. I'm going to set it for the sake of this video at 1080. And then when you're ready, you just hit the export button. Depending on the size of the video, how long it is, and the resolution, it could take anywhere from 30 seconds to export it up to several minutes. Once it's been exported, it's been saved to the camera roll, so we can go and manually share it to different social media platforms. But it also gives you tools right there at the bottom. So if you want to share it to Facebook or Instagram, you can do so directly from the app. Now I'm going to close this all down, and we're going to go back to the create button here. So say you've been working on an edit, but you haven't exported it yet because you wanted to work on it the following day. You don't actually have to save any of your projects. They're going to be automatically saved as you're working on it. And what we can do is go to drafts here. And you can see here are some of the projects I currently have. This one here at the top is one I was just showing you throughout this tutorial. We can tap on it and it's going to open it back up and we can continue editing. So yeah, that is editing on the DJI Fly app. It's actually a pretty powerful tool, and the nice thing is it's free. You already have it. And as mentioned, if you're flying with something like the DJI RC2, it is definitely worthwhile to download it to your smartphone or tablet. Not only does it allow you to transfer content over from your device, but it also gives you these nice editing tools that allows you to edit your drone footage. Well, folks, hopefully you enjoyed this video and got some value out of it. Give it a thumbs up if you did. It's always greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.